Alright, so many technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, we're going to just work with some spirits tonight and go from there. So here we go. Here we go. So I've got this little lady here. I was getting some. Oh, her little thing demo. She's a music box. I was getting EMF from her. I haven't really worked with her. I actually got her off of Facebook Marketplace in a box full of dolls. Did I get her with the intention of her having a spirit attachment? No. But I actually have quite a few of the dolls that I got out of the box that I'm getting EMF from. So could it be residual energy? Could it actually be a spirit attachment? We can figure that out. She's super cute. She has a little wind-up key in the back, and now she's playing music. And I haven't wound her up. But yeah. Oh, she fell over. Why are you falling over now? She just started playing music on her own. That was interesting. Okay. I have 2 dolls from that box pinging my EMF. Now she's not pinging it. Let's see here. But you'll see that I do have a lot of residual EMF in my room just because I have so many spirit vessels in here. Well, let's see what we get. Can we see her on the camera? Okay. Alright, friend. Thank you. I didn't even have to ask the question out loud. We're already touching the EMF. Can you please touch the K2 meter again for me? So if you don't know what the K2 is, this little black box that I set against your vessel is called a K2 or an EMF. Thank you. It lights up different colors. It goes green, yellow, orange, and red. Can you touch it again? Thank you. Can you try to light it up to yellow? So get as close to it as you possibly can. I just heard I'm trying. So I am, if you are new to this stream and who I am ChaoticEternity. I am a paranormal investigator. I am a psychic medium. Very new to that title. I don't care for titles or labels, so to speak. So, and when I tell some people about my abilities, I get scoffed at, laughed at, or people are like, oh, I don't believe in that, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I have always had these abilities, but I had shut them down as a child due to bullying. So when I started reopening everything up, clairsentience came back full, strong. That is feeling of everything. So, oh, thank you. Sorry, TikTok. Thank you for the hat. And, 'cause anyways, so now everything's opening, and now that is not me, that's spirit. That is behind camera, so you guys really can't see it. If I turned my phone for TikTok to see, you guys would see it. It's literally just like right down here. They're little ghosts. You can get them from the Dollar Tree. It's a Halloween decoration. It's got a little sensor on it. Some of my spirits are turning it on. I do have some other decorations from the Dollar Tree set up that make different Halloween sounds. My spirits like to turn on, so. Let's see what we can get from this little lady here. Let me find my pen. I like to take notes. Notes. So we're doing this little music box girl right here. She had this little tag on her. The doll's name. The doll from the maker, his name's Kathy, but that isn't her name. Getting names is a little difficult. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they're like, hey, we're here. They do this. They love the ghosts the most, but sometimes I have to take it away. But they... because they get a little much with it. There we go again. Okay. Are we gonna do it again? It does that. Okay, I'm glad that you hear it, because I always hear that part too. I am not the only one that hears that. Oh, and it's so funny. Okay. I picked up that part of it when I first got them, and I always thought it was funny, because when I first got them, they were setting them, like, so I got the haunted house, the pumpkins, there's bats that make screeching sound, and they were setting them all off at the same time, and it got real hilarious in here. Okay. Am I free to talk and channel, guys? Okay, I think I heard a yes, but you never know. My older sister was in town last night, so my family lives like 45 minutes away, in the capital. So she was here shopping at one of the thrift stores, and so she found a couple of vessels, and then she brought them to me last night. What did I do with them? Oh, I have one down here and the other one over there. So one of them, I couldn't really feel the energy to it because the other one was like, its energy was so strong that it like encompassed the energy of the other doll. I tried putting EMF to them, but they didn't do anything. Usually when I get new vessels in my home, I let them hang out, I let them chill, because they have to get used to the energy of my home, of us, and then all the other spirits around them. So, but my sister told me that when she walked into the thrift store, it was like she was in a trance. She beelined it right to this specific doll, and before she knew it, she had the doll in her hand. So when she feels energy, it's like a pit in her stomach. And she said it was like the pit in her stomach when she walked around with this doll grew and grew and grew, and then all of a sudden it was like, she's like, I had to get a cart and I had to put her in the cart because I couldn't carry her around anymore because she started to make me feel heavy and she started making my eyes water. That's what she told me. So, and she's like, and that's why I called you. And I said, I'm bringing these vessels over because I wasn't taking them home. I said, okay, thanks. Yeah. She said there were some more there, but she couldn't get them all, obviously, but I don't know. I'm trying to slow down on how many more vessels I bring in. I've already got over 40. And after the bad seed I accidentally found at the Goodwill and brought home, I'm trying to just slow down. Also, because I had been asked in an interview, I'm not sure if I saw a bug or something. I've got some candles in here lit. I saw something like fly over the candle. But anyways, over the interview, I was asked if I would ever sell some of my vessels. And with that question, I mean, when I first started collecting them, I thought, oh, maybe I could. But then, you know, you start to become attached to them and you start to learn about them. And they are essentially family. So I honestly wouldn't rehome them and sell them. Oh, well, thank you. I know. I have Christ consciousness. I actually talk to Most High. Thank you. I know Jesus loves me. Yeah, I wouldn't rehome them unless they asked me to. And then that's probably when that would come through. So, yeah. If you guys hear a little voice come through the door, you'll probably hear my son in the hallway. Diet Dr. Pepper? Seriously? Like... Alright, I'm sure you muted that person, but... I don't know why people feel the need to jump in chats and say stuff like that. Like it's an insult. Thank you. I know Jesus loves me, but thank you. And I can guarantee you that person probably hasn't actually read the Bible. The true Bible, the true word of the Bible, not the ones that have been completely and utterly butchered by humanity. Humanity, by the way. By men, by kings. Anyways, we will not get into that discussion. Little lady friend. Can you touch the EMF reader? All of those friends down there are touching the EMF readers. Would you... Oh, thank you. Can you light it up to yellow, please? So I feel in my chest like... Exactly. Not everybody leads with love. Exactly. So I'm just gonna start with explaining that right now, without touching her. And I don't know if I'm channeling her or somebody else in this room. But I feel kind of like a tightness in my chest. Like breathing problems. Like the word asthma popped in my head. I just heard I had asthma. I had asthma. I heard I had an asthma attack. Now, if I don't pay attention to what's popping in chats, because I'm channeling, so just an FYI if I miss what's being said. Okay. When I touch vessels, it's easier for me to feel their energy. Okay, let's start with some easy questions. Are you a female spirit? I don't feel the tightness in my chest anymore. I think she backed off me. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I feel it again. It's okay, you're not gonna hurt me. You're fine. We can communicate. Are you female? Can you light up the EMF reader to verify with me? Are you a female spirit? Are you male? Are you scared to answer my questions? I just saw that thing fly away. I don't know. I know I've got a few flies in my house, but I don't think they're up here right now. I don't have any flies in this room. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I have physically seen orbs with the naked eye. I've seen one in the midst of a reading that my husband and I were getting during like a Mystic Fest, or like a bunch of readers and stuff get together, like like vendors and stuff that sell things. So But I keep seeing this little thing fly around. But it's super tiny. So I don't know if it's like a little fly that I'm seeing. Like I saw it over there and then I saw it over here. So, but it's not the first time I've seen it in here today. Like I saw it like the other day I was in here. Sunday, I saw it Sunday. So I don't know what I'm seeing. Do you want to continue speaking with me? Oh, she backed off. All I heard is something about an asthma attack, and then, like, I'm not getting anything. She's paying the EMF, though. Not typically do they give me something like that right away off the bat. Like, especially, I'm not sure if it really has anything to do with how she passed. I heard yes. I don't typically ask for that information right off the bat because it can be very traumatic for them. It is traumatic, very traumatic for them. But I'm getting, I think it's a female energy for sure. Yes, I'm hearing yes, female energy. I'm getting chills. I think this is a child spirit. I wonder if that's why she's so unsure about whether or not she should talk to me. Which is fine. Okay. We will let you take a break. And we'll just pull somebody else up here because we're not going to just push you to conversate with me. Alright. I will put these tags back on your vessel. So I got her in a box of dolls that belonged to a lady. Her husband was selling them because they were getting ready to move. And he told me to, he literally told me, watch out on Facebook Marketplace, I'll be selling more. Because they're moving. It was an older couple. But she's super cute. Like, look at her. Super cute doll. So my sister asked me today, why... She asked me a string of questions, like literally one after another. Why do they choose their vessels? Why do they choose their vessels? I can't remember all the questions. Do you think it's because... What did she say? Why do they choose their vessels? Okay, first she asked me, why do they choose their vessels? How do they choose their vessels? So I went on to say, well, some of them choose their vessels because the vessels have... some vessels have significance to them, like, it could be something that they had possessed in, like it was a possession in their, lifetime. Like I do have a doll that belongs to a spirit. She's not actually attached to it, but she does come and visit, the vessel often. Some attached to the vessels because they have a likeness to what they were like in life. Some attached to the vessels because they just simply like the vessels. Not all vessels are dolls. I have one that's a trinket box. I have one that's literally a purple glass bottle, like an Art Deco type bottle. It can be jewelry. It literally can be furniture. I mean, it can literally be anything. If their vessel was to become damaged, to a point where they can no longer like be attached to it, they find another vessel. It's just that simple. So like Hollywood and people are like, it's evil, burn it. You're not doing anything to the spirit. You're just destroying their vessel. They're gonna find something else to attach to. It's really truly that simple. I mean, yes, you're going to upset the spirit. I mean, hi Sarah. But really, I have met, my sister has a pair of vessels that have spirits attached to them that are children that passed away in a very traumatic way. They passed away in fear. And they hid in their vessels to hide from a bad man who also passed away at the same time as them. And they believe that they are stuck in their vessels. We've been carefully working with them to just work with just simple equipment as the K2 or EMF. We've been talking with them and trying to just explain to them that they're not stuck in their vessels, that they can actually leave their vessels and they can move around outside of their vessels. But they chose their vessels out of fear as a place to hide. But yeah. So I think that, oh, I'm being touched. My hair is being played with on the side of my head. That would be Nyx. She likes to play with my hair. And it's always in the same place. But let me grab another vessel. I'm gonna set this little lady over here. You know, do you want, should I pull you up? Should I pull you up? Will you talk to us? I need to buy more doll stands. That's what I need to do. Yeah, I do. But you don't need a doll stand because you are meant to lay down on your side. Yes, yes you are. Okay. So I've got this little lady and her cute little curls. Their little bunny rabbit. We're gonna see what we get out of her. Mother of spirits, me. That's funny. If I could, I would probably hold some of the haunted vessels at the Museum of Shadows if they would allow me to. And channel them if I could. Now, the darker spirits they have in the basement area on the occult side, probably not, although I'm sure Demon would like that. Demon is an inhuman spirit that they have down on the occult side. They like me, but, got a hair. But anyways, we'll try to talk to this little one. They have a little bunny rabbit that goes in her arms, just tied around her neck. I haven't really messed with some of these vessels since I've gotten them. I've just had them resting on a shelf. But she lays on her side. I didn't know her arms moved. I need to clean up some of these dolls. We're gonna have a day where we're just gonna be like, we're gonna take some microfiber clubs and do some cleaning. But anyways, let's see here. Can we see her? She kind of lays awkwardly. I don't even know. Anyways. Can you touch the EMF reader again for me, please? Like you were? We'll give her a minute. We'll give her a minute. What? What about me in a museum? I might as well open up my own museum. That'd be the day. So I went to Edinburgh Manor in Scotch Grove, Iowa to do an investigation this past Friday. My son goes, he goes, "I thought you abandoned us. You just left. I didn't think you were coming back." I said, "No, you silly goose." I said I went and did a paranormal investigation. Oh man, he's so funny. It's my fault. I always joke about leaving and never coming back. What do you think if I just disappeared and never came back? That's what I say when I get really upset, because nobody helps me around here. I always talk to my spirits. I say, if you guys had physical bodies, you'd help me. I just heard, yeah. Can you touch the K2 meter? This little remote thing? You're just touching it. Is it because I put you in front of the camera? Oh, we're being shy. She was just setting it off. That's alright. You know what? What's our number one lesson, guys? Spirits don't perform. They are not for our entertainment. If she doesn't set it off here in a few seconds, we'll get somebody else up here. I have this Precious Moments doll that my sister and I found at a thrift store in Lincoln. My sister actually found this doll. I actually beelined it to another vessel that's handmade. It's like a box that opens up. It's a doll on top. And my sister says, you're gonna get this one too. I was like, okay. But I took her to work with me today, and she was just lighting up the MF readers. Yes, I do take them to work with me. Yes, my coworkers know about it. Some of them know about it. I actually had the one that I freaked out about it. She popped in my office the other day. She goes, where's your little meters? I was like, oh, I have those at home. I have them still packed up from when I went on my investigation. Which is kind of funny that she asked about them, because usually she's all like icky pooey about coming into my office. Because she'll look in and she'll be like, at my dolls. So I love it. Anyways. Alright, friend, we'll just switch you out. And if anybody has any requests, I know I've got some familiar faces in the crowd over there in TikTok. We can pull up somebody else. I know, like, Arai and Sarai are, gifted as well, so. I know, right? I don't know. And that voice message you left me, Arai, about my grandmother's recipes, when I found that this morning, that was too perfect. Like, and then I cried today because I found my grandmother has a German chocolate cake recipe, and she used to make that for my dad on his birthday every year. And then my sister, my sister, my older sister, she's my half sister. So my dad was her stepdad. My grandmother, but she said back in the 90s, wrote down a bunch of recipes for her. So she's got a bunch of stuff. So I told her we need to get together and we need to create a book of all of grandma's recipes and just share it with everybody, because they're just not all, and I found recipes with like dates from like a date from like the 1940s, dates from like the 1960s and the 70s, and newspaper clipping type recipes, and like she collected all sorts of stuff. Recipes from people she went to church with, and she had a recipe from her great aunt Emma. So somebody on her side of the family, which is, she's the British side of my family. So I don't know, it's really cool. So I pick up her recipes, and I always hear, I channel her. She's like, you need to start cooking my recipes. I'm like, yes, Grandma, yes. I'm working on it. I was doing stuff with my daughter with it, but then we kind of fell out of cooking, so. Anyways, back to the dolls. That's what we're here for. Okay. When you channel everything, they make themselves known. Oh, let's see here. You know what? Mahua was turning, she had her light on earlier. Let me pull her up. So Mahua is she's Spanish. She was actually one of the first dolls I got from a thrift store. So Mahua, I'm sure I'm saying her name kind of wrong. It's Spanish. When I run like necrophonic, she will come through speaking some sort of dialect of Spanish, or like ancient Spanish. Like, she's ancient, like she's old. She's very handmade. Her part of her shoes are like leather and broken, and I went through yesterday and I checked everybody's batteries for their spirit lights, and so now some of them are turning their lights on. So, and she's one of them. When I found her, she was my very first doll that I found outside of adopting. When I found her, it was the, you know, you see all the porcelain dolls on the shelf at the thrift store, and then you see her and you think, nobody's gonna buy that doll. What an, I don't mean this towards you, okay? This is just, you know, a scenario. What an ugly doll, okay? Because she's handmade and she's got yarn hair and you can tell she's aged and, you know, everything, okay? So, but I was drawn to an energy in the area of where she was at, and it was between her and another vessel, and I picked her up, and I think there was one other doll that I bought with her. I can't remember who it was, but for her, for sure, I got because I was drawn to her. I put her on the shelf for a while because I didn't feel anything from her for a while, and then I finally pulled her down, and then I started to get stuff from her. It was interesting. So like I said, I let them hang out, and then I started to get stuff from them. But sometimes it depends on the spirit, and they have to figure out who you are and what you're about, and like, and also the era they're from, because that really matters too, okay? Because, you know, I'm white-skinned, right? Okay? So you gotta think about the era, and then like the way certain cultures are like, and then how certain people are treated in those certain time periods, and like, and then, you know, and then you find children's spirits too. So I found a lot of children's spirits, and then they're shy or scared and they don't know how to communicate or open up, and so yeah, this is Mawa, which I probably wouldn't have gotten half the names I got if it wasn't for my friend Sarah, because she helped because my clairaudience was just starting to come in, and when you're hearing things and you're not sure it's your thoughts, or if there's something else, so you're like doubting yourself all the time, it's like, that's like really hard. Are you crazy? Are you just making things up? Like, I don't know. But names are really hard to get for me at first. It just depends. With my sister's vessels, for the male, I got his name right off the bat. The little girl, I don't know what her name is, but we just call her Tori because she's holding a spelling book. So my sister calls her Tori. If you don't know Tori spelling, it's kind of funny. But anyways, will you guys see her? She is kind of a small vessel. And will she sit up on her own? You gonna sit up? Can you sit up for me? Yes. Alright. Alright. I use these little glass cups to hold my EMF readers. I'm not fancy and I don't buy the 3D printed holders, so. The goal is to get my husband a filament printer, and then he can print stuff for me, because I like to save my money. Okay. Oh, I just knocked her over. I knew I was going to do that. There we go. What did I do with your light? There it is. So this is her it's a bullet light, balloon light, spirit light, whatever you call it. So the idea is just like the mag lights you see a lot of investigators use, where you barely turn it on, so it's like barely touching the batteries, so she can turn it on herself. So I always teach them. This is how I teach them. Righty tighty to turn it on, lefty loosey to turn it off. Okay. So I'm gonna set it for her. Usually just set it on her dress, but I'm gonna set it so you guys can see it if she turns it on. Alright. Mahua, can you touch the EMF reader for me, please? She may or may not. I think with her, she's one of those spirits that she comes and goes as she pleases. She did turn her little light on earlier today. And yesterday, because I did check her batteries. I did discover a bunch of people had completely turned their lights on all the way on and had drained their batteries, and I didn't realize that. And so I had to go through and change batteries. So, and these little lights take the same kind of batteries that like cat balls do. Which I do have a cat ball set up there between my dragons. I don't know if the dragons will set it off. Usually my dragons are the ones that will set off the cat balls. I haven't taught them how to set the cat balls off. I've tried, and they just kind of, I don't know if they just refuse to set it off. Okay, I lied. Roberto and Rosa will set off the cat balls. Especially Roberto, because he likes the cat ball. But he's also one of my mischievous little guys, and but he's a boy, so boys are just ornery anyways. But I think Roberto could probably set off a lot of things if he really wanted to. I just heard I really like the ghosts, so I think that's him. Yes. Mahua, can you touch the EMF reader, the K2, sitting in front of you? Okay. It's like trying on shoes. We'll get the right one. Oh, she's embarrassed. I felt like, yeah, like she just all of a sudden was just like... Sometimes it feels like they're taking like a step back, you know what I'm saying? Shy? Okay. That's alright. We'll find somebody else. Okay. I just heard somebody say I will. Who said that? Okay. Alright. Don't fall backwards. See, I don't have a cat in here today. She can't knock anybody over. Hey, Roberto. Oh, he's telling me to bring Rose up here too. Okay. Rosa, please, can you not knock yourself over? I know you do that sometimes. I just heard a tap on the wall. Okay, I need another enough for her. Hey, Rosa. Hey, Roberto. You said you'd come up here. Can you touch the EMF reader? I don't know what is going on with my hair, but it's driving me crazy today. I've got the puzzle piece of humanity. That is not me. I am not a bot. I heard that I need to brush my hair. I'm getting sass already. Okay. If you're gonna be sassy to me, you have to set off the EMF reader. Okay. Well, if you're gonna... Is Dan messing with the ghosts? I don't know. Somebody is. Dan hasn't turned on his light in like a hot minute. I mean, a lot of them haven't. Oh, the cop doll? Yeah, that's Dan. Dan, he is the man. What are you saying with that? Are we not wanting to use the EMF readers? Are you guys trying to make me look like I don't have haunted vessels? I'm starting to get a headache. Like, I can feel you guys. Come on now. Yeah, that could be it. Well, a lot of people want visual proof that you guys are here. That's why I put the EMF readers there. Yes, people can read energy from photos. I can read energy from other spirit vessels through photos real easily. So it's not hard to read other people's energies through a photo. Especially without consent. And universal law, you can't read, it's not allowed to read other people's energies without consent. And there's so many readers, so many psychics out there that read other people's energy without their consent because other people ask them to. Yep. Brought to you by. Now I lost my thought. It went poof. The Land Before Time. Yep. Alright, guys. I want to get some more of those. I'll show you guys the ghosts that they keep setting off. This is what they keep setting off. The light set it off, by the way. So what I've learned, let me just turn it off for a minute. So what I've learned from these, so it has a little sensor down at the bottom. So there's other ones that, like the bats have little wings, so the sensor's like up the wing, and like the haunted house, it's like the windows. And then there's pumpkins, the sensors down here at the bottom. So flipping the lights on and off will set it off. So that's something to pay attention to if you're using them for like paranormal investigations or for with your spirits. If you like shine a flashlight or a UV flashlight, which I learned because I took it to Edinburgh Manor and another investigator shined their UV light into it, set it off. I have waved myself, my hands around it like furiously to set it off. It can take kind of a bit to set them off. You can walk through it in front of it and it sets it off fine, but I have stood in the doorway and watched this thing facing away from me go off over and over and over and over and over and over again. This one is a favorite. So the pumpkins go like Happy Halloween, wahahaha. The bats screech. And then the haunted house does like that scary like organ music. But this one is the all-time favorite. I don't know if it's because they're ghosts and they are ghosts. I do have a lot of children's spirits, but yeah. So when I waved this in front of the ring light, it did set it off. So I like to debunk. I did have a day in here where they were just setting it off continuously. So I had to check, is there something stuck in the sensor? Am I setting it off? Is my reflection in the mirror setting it off somehow? I walked out of the room, it was still going off. So I took it out of the room into the hallway. I set it down on the bookshelf and it did not go off the whole time out there. Could my spirits go out the hall and set it off? Yeah, they could if they really wanted to. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, they are free to wander my house, but they're pretty comfortable in this room. I mean, yeah, you guys have permission to leave this room if you want. Just don't go in my children's room. You guys know the rules. Yes, I do have boundaries and rules set aside for my spirits. And don't go in the bathroom. But yeah, then I brought it back in here, and then they started setting it off again. I have taken it away because it did drive me kind of crazy one day. And I was like, I just set one of the other ones off. I do have the other ones on currently in the room. They just like this one the most. Yeah. Dollar Tree, guys. And they're super cute. They literally take 2 AAA batteries. I want to get more. Right. My sister has, so she has 2 spirit vessels. They are garden statues. She keeps them outside. She repainted them. She has like a solar garden lamp that she keeps between them. They have learned to turn it on by the sensor. So they wait till like when it's all like just about when the sun's going down. And they turn it on and off. They know how to turn it on and off, by the way. Sarah's seen it because she came over. I'm gonna leave this off for now, but if they really want her attention and she's sitting outside at the table, they'll turn the light on and off, because you have to walk past it to turn it on. It's so funny. Heard the spirits like the ghosts because it's sensitive. Oh yeah, yeah. I have other toys, like I have the REM pods. They don't like the REM pods. They don't like how noisy it is. Which is funny because the ghosts are just as noisy. I just heard, yeah, but they're more fun. I just heard turn the ghosts back on. I have a music box that I've tried using, but it's so sensitive and it's such a wide range. If I move it, sets it off, so I don't really set that up in here. So I don't really test a terrible amount of my paranormal investigation stuff in here with them, other than just the EMF reader, the stuff I got from the Dollar Tree, which I was told around Christmas time they come out with some stuff kind of similar, but for Christmas. So I'm gonna check that out. And I'm a budget paranormal investigative girl. All of my stuff, I don't have like the legit name brand investigation stuff, because why pay $300 for a REM pod? Guys, why? You can go on Etsy and you can get stuff for under $300. I think I paid $80 for a REM pod. Whoop whoop! 144! Yeah, anyways, but I'm gonna tell you something. Investigating at Edinburgh Manor, none of the spirits there none of the spirits there touched any of our equipment. Maybe the temperature on a REM pod. They interacted with my K2s. And then we got cat ball activity. Oh, and they played with my ghosts. They played with my ghosts. But other than that, then somebody had a epoch from, I think, Ghost Stop. But that gives the yes, no, yes, whatever. Alaric, please don't be outside the door. I couldn't tell what that weird noise was. It was my son. But other than that, somebody has set up a tripwire, like REM pod thing. They didn't even interact with that. I set up my REM pods. They wouldn't interact with them. They wouldn't even interact with my music box. I set up the other motion sensor toys I got from the Dollar Tree. They wouldn't even interact with them. But I set the ghosts up in the children's room in Edinburgh. Oh, they interacted with that just fine. But it was just mostly the EMF readers. And then me channeling, because when they found out I could hear them, certain spirits that really wanted to be heard, and they were following me around, and they were talking to me and giving me a laundry list of things that needed to be done in the building, or they were complaining, or, you know, they were talking to me and telling me how long they had worked in the building and stuff like that. I mean, I had one of the paranormal investigators, she walked in the building, the moment she walked in the building, she came in with 2 family members that had passed with her. And I felt the shift of energy that came with her, because it was so strong, and ironically she had asked them to be with her that night. And it was the first time I met her, and I kept walking up to her because I could feel the energy, and then I'd back up, because when I walk away from her, the energy would get weaker because they were next to her. And then I'd walk up to her again, and they were kind of, I was being watched by another of the investigators that actually invited me. And then I heard ancestors. And then I'd walk up to her, and then I back up, and I walk up to her and back up, and then I was like, I finally asked her, I said, this is probably gonna sound really weird, but do you do like ancestor work or something with ancestors? And then she told me that she had 2 family members that were passed, that were close to her, she was really close to, that she actually asked before coming out to be with her. And I said, okay. And then I explained to her why I kept walking up and back. And then I told her about the energy around her. I said, the moment you walked in and started talking to, I don't know if she was the owner or manager of the building, you had a strong presence with you. Like, really strong presence with you. Like, protective presence with you. And you know what? She pulled out her phone and started running necrophonic when we were in the basement. And she called them out by name, and they answered her. So they were with her, and those were the presents I felt with her. But yeah. I can walk into places, secondhand places, secondhand stores, antique malls, thrift stores, whatever. And if there's an object of any sort with an attachment, I can feel it. Unless they're really masking their energy. But lately, it's been really easy for me to find them. And now that I did this last paranormal investigation, I've learned that certain tools are no longer going to work for me because I can channel, like dowsing rods, pendulums. I mean, they work, but I get yelled at. I get told to put them away, that I don't need them. Like when I channel for the living, when I channel their loved ones for them, and I use my tarot card to help connect, I am constantly told I don't need the tarot cards. And I know I don't because I had my teeth cleaned recently and I accidentally connected with a girl, the hygienist, the dental hygienist's energy when she was hovering over me, cleaning my teeth, and her great grandmother came through because she was telling me how proud of her she was, and then she was pointing out how her great granddaughter paid such great attention to detail because of how she was cleaning my teeth. It was the funniest thing. And then she made me tell her, she wanted me to tell her how proud of her she was, and that she was telling me that she had just started doing this. And then I asked her about it. I said, it's probably going to sound crazy, but I have somebody coming through for you. I'm a psychic medium. And they're telling me that you are really new at this. And she said, yeah, I just graduated last year and I just started working at this dentist office like in June. I'm like, well, you've got this female presence, kind of like a motherly presence, or grandmother presence. She's just telling me how proud of you she is, and that she loves the way you pay attention to detail, and she's like, I got chills, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, and then she started asking me questions about how long I've been channeling, and I'm just like, well, you know, just kind of really started embracing it. So yeah, how I got into spirit vessels was just kind of random. They just find me. It might get noisy outside the door. It is time for my children to get ready for bed. So, and you may hear somebody ask me if I'm still live streaming because they want a hug. Rosa and Roberto. Oh, Roberto, you gotta roll the R. They came to me from a metaphysical shop locally. Rosa hid her energy from me. I actually did not think she had an attachment to her vessel. Roberto was like touching a car battery. They were in a Christmas bag and they were covered in salt when I got them. A mother had dropped them off because he was scratching the child. Not as a malicious intent, but more, in my opinion, trying to get the child's attention, because I think the child was sensitive. So trying to, get the child's attention. The child's sensitive. Children are naturally sensitive to the spiritual realm. And so mom was freaked out about it. So mom took them and dropped them off to the metaphysical shop. And a gentleman there that I know who does readings, sent me a message, asked me if I would like to come pick them up, and I said, yeah, I will definitely come get them. I picked them up. I pulled out Rosa's vessel first. I didn't feel anything with her. I pulled out Roberto. It was like holding a battery all the way down from my hand to my elbow. Put him back in. I still felt it till probably 20 minutes into my drive home. And brought them in. I gave them the rules. And just sat in here with them, hung out with them, talked to them like I talked to all my other vessels. And I think I did some investigative work. I don't know if it was that night or the day after with them. I'm being touched again. But it was a friend, it was somebody else who's a medium that kind of pointed out that Rosa had energy and was hiding, and I was like, oh, she's sneaky. Okay. So I called her out, and then she pinged the EMF reader, and then, you know, he was already pinging the EMF, and then, you know, we had conversations, and you know, I told him, it's okay. You guys can feel your feelings. We can be angry, but we can't scratch, and, you know, but I haven't had any issues with him since, you know, and he's apologized, and they're just kids. Kids who've lived through traumatic things and, well, lived through traumatic things and experienced things that brought them to I don't know what you want to call it, a part of their life cycle that makes them feel like they have to stay where they're at here in these vessels. And I just want to help them heal and hopefully help them move on into the reincarnation cycle of things, you know. It's time for them to do that, but you can't push them. But I think they stay around here because I think there's a family member. I don't know if it's a mom or a grandmother that still lingers earthbound, alive maybe, that they miss. And that's probably why they hang around. That I'm not sure. I haven't figured that part out. But I don't push those questions yet. I do a lot of just group stuff like this. And that's how I get a lot of my information, is just kind of like over time they have, pardon me, they reveal stuff to me. Like when they have revealed how they passed. So, which was very, very traumatic, very, they gave me a visual, is very, rated R, we'll just say. These kids need love, and they need guidance, and they need somebody to hear them, and I am that person, so. And those of us who have the ability to hear spirit, we're not just here to help heal spirits and help them move on. We're here to help the living as well. So we're healing both sides because both sides are going to come together again. My head is swimming. I just heard our worlds are more connected together than is realized. And we have to learn to heal ourselves so we can embrace both the worlds that are now re-emerging together. But Rosa just moved her vessel. It just fell forward. Rosa does that. Rosa will knock her vessel over. I am, sir. I cannot hear you. Okay, I'm not sure what you said, but I'll come help you. Alright, bye. I'm probably going to end this live because I am being beckoned and called by my children because I apparently am the only adult that exists in this home. So I say thank you to everybody who is here. I hope you enjoyed what little bit of activity we got. Oh, thanks. I love you too. I want to do a video or live, whatever, on cleansings, spiritual, personal stories of failed or successful cleansings. If you have a certain cleansing you prefer to do and you want to share those, please message those stories to me. That'd be greatly appreciated. If not, that's cool. I can figure out my own jam. I've got some information I want to share. But, yeah. I will see you guys next time.